103.3 WZND, your source for up-to-the-minute live coverage of Illinois State basketball.
Welcome back. Thank you for listening, folks. You're listening to 103.3 WZND, Fuse Radio's broadcast of Redbirds men's basketball. Welcome to our halftime show, and now we welcome a very special guest to our broadcast. He played NHL hockey from 1980 to 1997 for the Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning, and our Chicago Blackhawks. Elected to the Hall of Fame in 2000, creator of the Savardian Spinorama, and now ambassador to the Blackhawks organization, Mr. Denis Savard. Mr. Savard, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thanks. Nice to be here, guys.
Me and Andy, huge Hawks fans right now. We're just going to ask you a couple questions. Andy, go ahead.
Sure.
My question kind of has to do with the Blackhawks really shaping hockey culture in Illinois. How do you think that it has developed as the team has, had a little bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years?
Well, you have to draft well. Our organization has really made a commitment of winning, and that's number one. I think ever since John McDonough and Jay Blanc, who's from this town, actually has took over a hockey team, so they made a commitment to our fans and to our people in Illinois and all over the world to be a winning team. So, that's first. It starts on top, and to stay up there is very difficult, as you guys know. But they've done that. They've done a great job. It's been a lot of fun for our people, our fans in Chicago and all over Illinois and all over the world to see how well our team has done in the last 4 or 5 years. So, credit goes to our players, the Jonathan Taves, the Patrick Kane, the Duncan Keith, Seabrook, and the list goes on. Those guys are fun to watch, and they come and they commit every night to play hard. And just like we are here tonight watching this great basketball game, the Redbirds are down by 9 points, but they're playing hard, and hopefully they can come up, with the win in the second half.
Definitely. So, game has changed a lot since you were a player, especially injury-wise. I don't want to get too into it with the concussions, but what do you think about Brendan Shanahan and the way he's handled suspensions and injuries so far in the NHL? You got Ovechkin out sitting out the All-Star game. Taves got injury, but not really concussion, but especially Sidney Crosby being out for as long, and the Hawks are really one concussed player away from being in a lot of trouble.
Well, yeah, and you hate to see it, but obviously the league is doing everything in their power to try to help that, but the player have to really take care of themselves in a better way in that way, The thing with the game now, I like what they've done, I like all the changes they've made, and obviously because you kind of have freedom in neutral zone to skate as fast as you want, you're going to get hit a lot faster and a lot harder. So, but it starts with the players. They've got to protect themselves. When you see a guy with his number and his name in the back of a jersey, try to ease up or try to take, a little precaution to be a lot helpful for the league. But the league is doing the right thing. If you can't police yourself, then the league has to take care of it, and that's what they're doing. That's what Brendan's done with the league now. With the new rules applying this year, the hitting from behind and the hits to the head, you have to protect your star players, and you're right. Every team is 1 or 2 players away from losing the whole season.
Right.
You lose your 1 or 2 best players, it's very difficult to go on and win a championship.
Now, speaking of injuries, the Hawks have Sharp and Taves out. They've kind of been struggling as of late. What do you think they need to do as far as, trade perspective, or possibly even bringing up some more young guys to really get some energy going for the team?
Well, our young kids that came up from the minors, they've done well. Obviously injuries is part of the game, and every team has to go through it. And I know we're on a 2 games losing streak here going to the All-Star break, but I'm not too concerned. I think our club is very capable to put a winning streak together again. But, like you said, you lose 2 of your main players with Taves and Sharp. It's going to be tough to score goals. And yesterday was a good example of it, where Nashville came in our building and beat us 3-1. But our chances, we had chances. Pecorini was good for Nashville, and hopefully this break comes at the right time, I believe. Get everybody back on shape, get healthy again, and get back on track starting next Tuesday in Vancouver.
For those of you who don't know, the Blackhawks fell yesterday to the Nashville Predators 3-1, Nashville including an empty net. And like Andy said, Taves, Sharp out with injuries, so the Hawks really are relying on stars Kane, Hossa, and really any goalie in net to come away with 2 points in any game. We got a tough game against Vancouver. We talk about youth, and for the past couple, 5-6 years, youth has really been the center of the Hawks organization. I want to hear your thoughts on Andrew Shaw and Jimmy Hayes and how they have really coped with the adversity about the Hawks, and what advice you have to them for the future.
Well, you know, they're two different players. Shaw being like a little bit like Bolin, you know, and not a big guy, but plays hard and goes to the paint. Hayes is a big man that could skate, that can get to the net, that has skill. You know, they're surprised. I mean, I didn't really know those guys even when I was coaching the Hawks. They weren't up with their team yet. They weren't even drafted yet. Well, one of them anyway. The other one was in the trade. But so I didn't know much about them. But I'm impressed how they played here so far. You know, they really helped us, you know, scoring big goals for us, playing big games, and hopefully that we'll continue to do this. It's a healthy thing to see. There's not enough, you know, great young players in the league. The more you got, the better you're going to be, and better we're going to be off because of it. You know, it's about depth, and you know, with those two guys in the lineup now, it helps our depth, no question.
Absolutely. You know, now this is a little bit more of a personal question. You know, how does it feel after having Hall of Fame career and then even coaching the Hawks? How does it feel to now be able to represent the team and the organization as an ambassador and come to events such as these at colleges and other venues?
You know what? It's for me, obviously, you know, the biggest thing I like the most is to play. You know, let's say the second thing is to be a coach, and the third thing obviously is this. But I've enjoyed this role a lot. You know, it's been a lot of fun to come out and visit some towns in Illinois and places I've never been to. I've been here a few times, but there's certain places I've never been to. Well, I've never been to this stadium here.
Right.
So nice to be here, and you know, I'm delighted to do what I'm doing. I'm very fortunate. The Hawks have been great to me. You know, I've been with the organization for a long time, so it's been fun. I can't complain.
How's ISU been treating you so far?
It's been good. Let's hope that our guys can bring us a win. You know, I know Missouri's a good team too, and 9 points down. I guess in hockey, you'd be like, I don't know, would you say 2-goal deficit?
Yeah, about equivalent to 2 goals, yeah.
You know, they say in hockey, the worst lead is a 2-goal lead, so let's hope that 9 points
most dangerous lead in hockey, that's for sure.
So I think we got time for one more question right now. Out of all your experience playing, coaching, watching hockey, right now the Central Division that the Hawks play in have 4 teams in the top 7 teams in the entire NHL, not just the Western Conference, including the Red Wings, who we kind of bitter to even name their names, St. Louis and Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, with coaching experience, what do you think the Hawks, the most important thing they need to do to come away with a top seed in the Western Conference?
Well, beat those teams when they play them. You know, I mean, they'll play a couple times a year, I think 6 times in the division. So they're big games when they play them, and I think first game back, when we come home from this trip, St. Louis will be one of the team we're going to face. So, yeah, just beat those teams. You know, you can't really worry about them, what they do. Worry about yourself. You know, don't get in losing streaks. You know, that's a tough thing. You know, you lose 3, 4, 5 in a row in this league, you end up first to last. That's how close it is. So, you know, there's a lot of parity in the National Hockey League. So let's hope that our Hawks are going to be in it, and I know they will. And hopefully that coming down the stretch here, we're going to be a team that's got lots of momentum and going to win another Stanley Cup.
All right, folks, you heard it from the great Blackhawk, former Blackhawk that is, Denis Savard. We're about 2 minutes and 10 seconds away from resuming the game in our second half. Redbirds right now down by 9. Don't go away. You're listening to 103.3 WZND, the pulse of Redbird Nation.